El Dorado Canyon, or as it's more informally known to climbers, Eldo. The walls of the beautiful canyon just south of Boulder have lured climbers since the early 20th century, and first ascents date back decades. And Eldo's traditional style means that it is not a destination for the faint of heart. Many of the so-called classic routes still include decades-old pitons fixed in ancient cracks that have likely been used by thousands of climbers over the years.
I wonder if that would hold a fall. Might. Or it might not.
The route that I and my pal Helen Davis chose to do recently was one such climb called the Yellow Spur, which makes its way up Red Garden Wall, the tallest wall in Eldo.
Check, rope.
The vast majority of routes in Eldo require traditional gears, such as cams and nuts that are placed in cracks as the lead climber ascends the route. So we're in El Dorado Canyon, standing at the base of the Yellow Spur, which goes right up this face, Red Garden Wall. 6 pitches, and it's an absolute classic route here in El Dorado. I've done it twice before, just a year ago, and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people who climb this particular route every single year. It's really fantastic. Great moves, great exposure, great protection, and we're gonna have a blast today. People have been climbing this thing for decades and decades. I first did this back in, I think, 2002 or 3. And the thing about Eldo is there aren't always continuous cracks, so sometimes you get exposed on face moves and your last piece of protection is 20 feet below you, and so if you happen to slip, you're going to take at least a 40-foot fall, and you might bounce off a couple things on the way down. So it can be kind of a head game sometimes. This particular route has great protection all the way up. There's not really any really freaky parts or anything, but you still got to really look for cracks and find protection where you can get it. The very first piece of protection a climber can clip on the spur is a fixed piton underneath a roof just 20 feet off the ground. There are 3 more fixed pieces on the first pitch alone: another piton, a nut, and a cam.
It's another fixed piece. Yeah. That was the first crux.
Helen cruised up behind me on the first pitch, then the second, then the third. You having a good time?
Yeah. I'm totally impressed. I always think I'm gonna lead Chad. I'm like, oh, this. So scary.
3 pitches. You digging it?
That was a good pitch.
Yeah.
Nice job. I felt a little hard.
Yellow Spur, 3 pitches down, 3 pitches left to go. We're at the base of the 4th pitch right now. It's dihedral up to this roof that traverses out right, and then up to this really awesome belay stance. But there was a snag that day. 2 climbers in front of us were taking their sweet time, which sometimes happens on long, popular trad routes, and we got stuck at the top of the 3rd pitch for about an hour, waiting for them to finish climbing above us, so there would be room at the next belay spot.
Whoop, whoop. Yo, yo. Say hi to the camera. Oh, that's okay. It's getting nice and warm. Eldo.
and what a spot it is. A small ledge on a knife blade ridge about 100 feet below the summit. The Yellow Spur is always a great time. Though every one of the 6 pitches has quality moves on it, the exposure and excitement of the last 2 are what make it really memorable.
Slack. It's all good.
I must confess that I pulled on a couple of quick draws during the most difficult section of the 5th pitch, but to be honest, I don't really care, because it's just ridiculous fun being up there.
Watch me, alright? Slick. There it is. That thing is thin, man. Kind of mad at myself. I cheated it. Whew. First real bolt. Whew. I gotta come back and get that clean without pulling on the draws. That was cool. You'll like that. That's your style. Thin. Last piece, 20 feet below me. Nice. Crazy finish, isn't it?
I've never been on a bigger, more exposed route than that.
Really?